Hello and welcome to another episode of Analysis on TV 360 Nigeria with me, Oyin Adekunle. Again, resident doctors in Nigeria have downed tools in a show of their grievances to the federal government over their welfare. Recall that in April, the National Association of Resident Doctors suspended their strike action after 10 days and reached an agreement with the federal government. Now, over 100 days of suspending that strike, the doctors have again embarked on another strike, accusing the government this time of failing to implement the agreements. The doctor strike is coming at a time when Nigeria is witnessing a surge in COVID-19 cases. I'm now being joined on the program to shed more light on these issues by Dr. Oludotun Oshikoya, the spokesperson of the National Association of Resident Doctors. Dr. Oshikoya, thank you very much for joining me on the program. Now, this doctor strike is becoming a recurring topic. It just keeps happening time and time again. Now, this is the second time NAD is embarking on an indefinite strike action this year. So what exactly is the problem this time around?
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to enlighten people, the populace all over again. Like you rightly said, we're always going on strike. But if that's the only language that will make government to shift ground, we have to utilize it. Now, we are not asking for new issue. This issue has been on ground for the past 10 years. This year, we are giving memorandum of action. Initially, the memorandum of understanding, memorandum of terms of settlement. But this year we were given memorandum of action and it was signed. While we were about to sign that memorandum of action, we are tired of signing agreement every time and then. We signed an agreement with the government which laid down rules. Okay, so time we'll do in the next 30 days. But I can tell you categorically, today make it 115 days that we suspend our strike. Nothing has been done. Nothing concrete on the floor. As of now, it's as if immediately we signed something, the people at the helm of our affairs just moved the file. They went to go and drop it somewhere. And we are back to. So people's salary is still being held. Some people have been paid, the last time they have their salary is 19 months ago. Some 7 months, some 8 months, some 4 months, some 6 months. It's like that. It's wrong. So we have to let them know that they have not done the needful. They have not done the needful. We asked them, you gave us, okay, within 30 days, all these things will be settled in the memorandum of action. We are more than 100 days now. Nothing has been achieved. Nothing has been done. We have to tell this line again. It's as if they are not ready to listen. And unfortunately, when, as a medical doctor, people will be crying, shouting, hypocritical hope. Fine, it's there, but they forget that inside that oath itself, there's physician heal thyself. Because it's only somebody that is in sound mind that will be able to take care of another person. When you started thinking of, with the cost of inflation in Nigeria, you have to buy food at the market, everything is increasing, it's from your salary, you pay your children's school fees, you pay your parents, your aged ones, you have to take care of them, you have house rents to pay, you have other things to pay, utility bills are coming up and down, and there is no money. At the same time, we are resident doctor because we are in training to be a specialist. You pay for exams, you pay for updates, you pay for that. Some of those things are part of the thing government supposed to have done, and they are yet to do it. We are piling bills up and down. And at the end of the day, people, they will now be saying doctors are running out of the country. Why won't they run out of the country when you didn't give us an able environment to work? I will do a work, you didn't pay me my due, you didn't pay me my salary. How am I going to survive? Or do you expect us to be taxing the patient anytime they come? You have to pay me, you have to pay 10,000 naira before I can see, or pay 20,000 before I can see. It's wrong. Let's call a spade a spade. We have tried. We just have to tell them they need to do the needful. All these things we are asking for have been budgeted for, and they are not paying.
Now, you said this time around you signed, as in April, you signed a memorandum of action as opposed to memorandum of understanding that you've been signing with the federal government before. Now, what's the difference now between the memorandum of action and MOU? Now, what did you think was going to make this different? Or what was in the the memorandum of action that's different, or that would have made the government act differently, or that you thought would have made the difference?
The last time we were able to, you see, sometimes you give people benefits of the doubt. As at that time, we are already on 10, day 10. The strike has gone for like 10 days. And people are like, then the Speaker of House of Assembly, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, was able to intervene. So we give people benefits of the doubt, and they gave us their word that with this memorandum of action, things will be done in a different way. Okay, because we are doctors, we want to go back to work and we want to see our patients, take care of people, because those people are patients to our relatives or our loved ones. So we decided to shelve the strike, suspend it so that we can go back to work, thinking that things will be done in a proper way from the way they used to do in the past. But unfortunately, we are back to square one. Nothing is still on ground. Nothing has been done. They pay some salary. They are owing, as at that time, they are owing some people 4 months' salary. They're able to pay that 4 months' salary. Now, they are owing 3 months again. To some centers, they are owing 7 months in some centers. Because the root cause of all this problem is yet to be solved. And what happened to people on Givings in Federal is just for them to be migrated from Give Me platform to IPPIS platform, where they'll be having their regular salary. But somebody helped them, just decided to stop the verification and the movement. Reason, we don't know. And with that, accumulated bills, accumulated salaries, and everything accumulate all over again. Now, from April, now we have May salary to pay for some people, May, June, July. Some people are yet to get that salary. Whereas some people are not even getting from January, February, March, April, May, June, July salary. Then in states, some people are being owed 19 months, some 9 months, some 7 months, some 6 months, some 4 months. It's wrong. And you cannot be doing this. I believe in the UK or United States, they are not owing people more salary like this because people have bills to pay.
You just talked about root causes of the problem not being solved. Now, bring us up to speed here now. Please explain what these root causes are.
Yeah, fine. You know, we have members in the state tertiary health institution and we have members in the federal tertiary health institution. I'll start with those from the federal health tertiary institution. There are, we have some, as doctors, they migrate. We used to shout brain drain in the country because doctors move from here to Saudi Arabia, US, Qatar, Australia, and there are vacuums. So Ministry of Health give all hospitals some waiver to employ tentatively so that the doctor-patient ratio will not be cumbersome on one doctor. It's like ratio 1 to 7,000. Now, when you're not talking of brain drain, it's like when you are having only one doctor working in a department 247, running up and down. It's not encouraging because at the end of the day, it's going to be what we call burnout. Doctors burnout because you'll be tired. And when you are tired, there is a tendency of you making a mistake in getting a diagnosis of a patient. There will be a tendency of making a mistake when you're on the theater table because you'll be fagged out. You have been working day in, day out without time to relax. Now, because of that, so they give a waiver to the hospital to employ more doctors to replace those ones that have stepped out of the system. Now, by the time hospital now employ those doctors to pay them their salaries now, is now causing problem because they are yet to be moved to the platform that they pay everybody salary that federal government is using, high PPIS, directly from Abuja. Now, when they now have, each hospital have that set of doctors on ground working 247 as resident. At the end of the day, they didn't pay them their salary in January, in February, in March. The only thing that can stop that one is for them to be migrate from Give Me platform to IPPIS platform where they can be getting their wages regularly. That's in the federal. Those only in the state is just an arbitrary abnormality we see among our governors that shows as if they are dictators. How can a state governor be owing state workers, not just ordinary workers, state doctors that take care of the health of everybody in that community? 19 months, 7 months, and they don't care. You have seen the governor that will be saying, doctor doesn't have two heads. I'm going to pay half. I'm going to slash their salary to half. Where in other same country they are increasing the salary of doctor because of the work they are doing, because of this the COVID era where doctors face a lot of things, challenges are out there. Our current hazard allowance is still 5,000 naira since 2009 or thereabouts. Has not been reviewed as of now. We have 19 of our members that have died as an effect of COVID-19. They are yet to have this insurance benefit, in-depth service insurance benefits, yet to be paid to their next of kin. Nothing is being done. Their children are suffering there because their father that is the breadwinner of the house is dead. Nobody is taking care of them. Their entitlement is not given to them. We have Medical Residency Training Act, which passed 2017, that guide the training of resident doctors. So in some states, it's yet to be domesticated. Because if you don't domesticate it, they won't be able to follow the act. It's a law. There are some fund attached to it so that the resident doctor can do med trainings. Unfortunately, they are not paying it. We are yet to have 2021 residency training fund. Talk less of some people are being owed 2020 as I'm talking to you. Some people are being owed a minimum wage was agreed consensual adjustment last year. Some of our members are being owed minimum wage. Some states even they refuse not to pay it. COVID-19 inducement allowance will pay to some people. Some states refuse to pay with the excuse that there is no money. Will doctor continue to work without pay? Will you continue to work without encouragement? Will you continue to work without glove or things, basic things you need to use in the hospital?
But Dr. Oshikoya, you know that in situations like this, when doctors go on strike, patients are usually at the receiving end. Now, how far are you willing to go this time before you call off this strike? And or are you just bent on carrying on until you get a response from the government?
Thank you very much. That's a good question. This time around, we are using this opportunity to apologize to the public. That not that we want to put more pressure on them or just to punish them, but one thing I need to know that we too we are patient ourselves. Because I'm a doctor doesn't mean I'm not a human being. I'm a human being first, and I need to be in sound mind to be able to take care of my patient. If I don't have anything, if I've not even eaten this morning, how do you expect me to see my patient? Now, government is there. We have been doing negotiation for over 100 days now. Nothing is. It's as if they didn't even shift or they didn't even do anything. They are just there. So this time around, what we need is for them to pay our dues. Give us what is ours so that we can continue to do our work. We are ready to go back to work today if they're able to do the needful today. Not for us to go back on the table to sign another memorandum of anything they want to call it again. This time around, we thought we have done a lot of negotiation. What we expect now is results.
Well, Dr. Oludotun Oshikoya, the spokesperson of the National Association of Resident Doctors, we thank you very much for speaking to us on Analysis. Thank you for your time.
Super.
Well, we'll take a break here, and when we return, we'll be speaking about another issue. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife Zinat have been released from Kaduna Correctional Center after they were acquitted and discharged by the Kaduna State High Court. The couple have been in detention since December 2015 over alleged culpable homicide, unlawful assembly, and disruption of public peace following a bloody clash between Zakzaky's followers and soldiers in Zaria, Kaduna State. But Justice Gideon Kurada upheld the no-case submission filed by Zakzaky and his wife, ruling that the case brought against the couple by the Kaduna State government lacks merit. Joining me now on the program to further discuss this is Martins Obono, a lawyer, and of course he joins us from Abuja. Thank you very much, Mr. Obono, for joining us on the program. Now, what do you make of this court judgment actually acquitting Zakzaky and his wife Zinat? Now, what are your thoughts on this? We know how things have played out to the federal government in other times when the court has ruled that Zakzaky be released. Now, do you see things playing out differently this time around?
So I think one of the rulings or the judgments of the court in the Zakzaky case that you're referring to is the one within the ECOWAS court. The ECOWAS Court of Justice, essentially, or basically, it's actually seen as an advisory, to member states. And that is why, although the member states are actually meant to obey the rulings of those courts, however, the Attorney General of the Federation has come up before to say that the ruling of that court was an advisory position. And so that basically means that they were not going to obey the ruling of the courts. However, this is a high court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a court of competent jurisdiction that has made this particular order and pronouncement and judgment, actually. And so it will be counterproductive for the government of Nigeria to want to disobey its own courts. Then it will be very, very sad if the government of Nigeria decides to disobey its own court and the rulings of that court. So I don't think they will be held any further. That's the reasonable thing to do. But if they don't, then it basically shows the level and the degree of lawlessness that the Muhammadu Buhari administration has decided to toe, that it does not want to obey the rule of law and the supremacy of the law and even the judgments of court of competent jurisdiction, and that would be a very big shame. So every reasonable person would want to see that Zakzaky and his wife are released, and the court, the judgments, the full judgments of the courts will be obeyed and carried out forthwith.
And do you foresee a situation where the federal government appeals the judgment?
I mean, the federal government can appeal the no case submission, but then on what basis would they be admitting that's no case? That's the question. Because under every appeal, you must have reasons for you to go to the appeal. So if there is no evidence to prove prima facie case, then you don't have a case because the case hasn't even been heard. So the only thing the federal government can actually do would just be to go back and have a fresh watertight case. Because in no case, I mean, an acquittal doesn't mean that if you come back with another evidence, that case will not be admitted. So maybe at the material time where they were filing that case and when they came before the courts, they didn't have material evidence to prove their case. But then they can go back and see how they can get more evidence to pursue the case. But for now, the pronouncement of the courts must be obeyed and must be obeyed, basically.
But Mr. Bono, let me just also ask you this. Why do you think that the court ruled in favor of Zakzaky and his wife?
So in every case, in every charge before the courts, there is usually every element to prove that there is a substantive case. So if you charged Zakzaky for culpable homicide, there are elements surrounding you to prove that truly this person committed culpable homicide. And so you've got to prove all those elements to be sure that, for you to be able to establish a case. So for example, you say because he blocked the convoy or Zakzaky, Shia people were protesting on the streets of Kaduna or Zaria, and then you say that is culpable homicide. That doesn't have any of those elements of culpable homicide act. So basically, if the court can't prove that, if the prosecution can't prove that, then automatically that case, there will be no case to answer. So if you can't say that he killed someone, who did he kill? Where is the person? Where is the person's body? What weapon did he use to kill the person? So if all these elements cannot be proved that there was that aspect of the crime, then the courts would definitely free him, and that's what the courts have decided to do.
Well, Mr. Martins Obono, legal practitioner, we thank you very much for joining us on Analysis and for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Well, that's the much we can take on this episode of the program. I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching. I am Onyi Adekunle. Bye for now.